Welcome to the 2014 Ashland University Football Preview Show. I'm your host, Kevin Stoicovy, a journalism and digital media student here at Ashland University. We're outside the Dwight Schar Athletic Complex, home of the Ashland University Eagles football team. And for the next 30 minutes, we will be looking ahead to the upcoming football season. The Eagles ended the 2013 season with a 5-5 overall record, 5-4 in the GLIAC. The 500 record secured Ashland for third place in the GLIAC South Division behind Ohio Dominican and Findlay. This season, the Eagles are looking to turn things around and get back on top of the division and into the NCAA Division II playoff hunt. We sat down with 11-year head coach Lee Owens to talk about his squad and what all Eagle fans can look forward to in 2014.
You know, we've got good players and we've got good coaches and we have a great tradition. So it's all in place. We're a very veteran team. We have nearly 50 juniors and seniors, and they're the group of guys we recruited to this facility initially. And so the retention's been really good. The facilities will really help with retention. And when you have a lot of juniors and seniors on your team, a lot of experience, you've got a chance to win every week. It's going to be we're going to have a tough football team. We're going to be a physical football team. We're going to finish plays on both sides of the ball. You know, we're going to run to the football on defense. We're going to block and have a great running game on offense. We're going to be solid on special teams. We'll be a tough out now. I mean, you're going to see a pretty good football team. I think this team has as much depth and as much talent overall as any team we've had. Now, we've had more skill at some positions in the past, you know, but top to bottom, the number of players we have that are capable of going in there and playing special teams, that can run and can hit and are athletic and are physical, the depth is as good or better than it's ever been.
It looks like Coach Owens and the Eagles have their eyes set on returning to the top of the GLIAC South. When we return, we will break down this year's squad when the 2014 Ashland University Football Preview Show returns.
The thing that makes this department unique is undoubtedly the amount that students are able to get involved in from day one. I was here for a week and I was part of my first remote high school basketball shoot that Saturday. So I wasn't even here, for a semester to kind of get my feet wet right away. I was able to jump in and really learn the things that I wanted to learn and the things that I want to use in the field someday.
A lot has changed on the offensive side of the ball for the Eagles since they last played here at the Dwight Schar Athletic Complex. The graduation of senior players, as well as returning lettermen, have made this offseason interesting to say the least. And we haven't even mentioned the deep, locally grown freshman class that is looking to make an impact this season. We sat down and talked with AU Associate Head Coach Doug Geiser to get his take on the AU offense for this season.
The offense this year as a whole, we're kind of in a learning, during camp here, we're in a learning situation. Because we're going to have a new guy under center, be it Austin Bruns coming back from an injury or Travis Tarnowski's a starter right now. We're still trying, as a coaching staff, trying to figure out what they can do and what he does well, what passes he felt comfortable with, what checks does he understand. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to depend upon the experience on the group. Talking to Danny Pico at receiver, talking to Logan Slavinsky and Matt Schweitzer at tight end, our three-headed monster at tailback with Taylor and McCune and Settlemeyer, and the experience we have coming back up front. We're going to have to depend on those guys being solid and giving us good play until we really get a handle on what Travis can do and he gets his feet under him, because he has yet to play on a Saturday yet. The offensive line is kind of we've got two different ends of the spectrum. I've got three gentlemen who played a lot of football for us the last couple of years. James Triplett is probably our best player right now. He'll be a 3-year starter at left guard. Should be an all-league player and probably get some consideration to be an All-American, I would think. Lyle Knight will be a 4-year starter for us at right tackle. Played a lot of football for us as well, very smart football player. And John Sippa has not played left tackle for us. He's been a starter at right guard for us, but he is probably more naturally at tackle. So those three positions right there, I feel pretty good as far as what they know, their understanding of schemes, adjustments, and that sort of thing. They played a lot of varsity football on Saturdays for us. The two positions that are going to be new for us, the other end of the spectrum, will be at center and at right guard. Dominic Gento will be our starter at center, and Dom has a chance to be a really good football player for us, but just has not played on Saturday yet. And the same thing at right guard. We're going to be playing a new player there as well, Zach Douglas. will be a sophomore for us and has played junior varsity for us, has been in very few varsity games, was hurt last year. So, we're going to have to really depend upon those older guys to raise the level of those young guys and get them up to speed as soon as possible. At receiver, we're going to have a couple of those guys coming in. Cameron Green, who redshirted last year, he'll be a freshman. We're going to ask him to come in and be an impact player for us. On the offensive line, I need my third tackle right now is a true freshman, John Connor from Walsh. And John has a chance to be a tremendous player for us, but he's going to have to fill a role this year and be our third tackle coming in as a true freshman. Anthony Taylor is pretty special. He's a pretty special player. And now I am biased in this respect. When I talk about Anthony, I also think Jordan and Vance because I think we have the three best tailbacks in the league. So talking about Anthony by himself, I very rarely do that. But I will say this, Anthony Taylor would have played a lot of football for us when we were at Akron. He is a Division I player. We were fortunate enough to get him here for various reasons. And he has grown every single year. He's a dominant player in this league. And probably the best thing I can say about Anthony, he has no ego. No ego at all. And a lot of times at that position, there is an ego. And he doesn't want to be treated special. He wants you to coach him hard. He plays hard. And hey, you get the best of him on a play, he'll get up with a smile on his face. He gets you on an 80-yard run, he'll get up with a smile on his face. He's the same guy. Works his tail off, and probably a great testament to his work ethic in the offseason. He was named a captain by his teammates 2 days ago.
I'll say so. We have a lot of experience coming back at different positions, such as wideout, running back, even the offensive line. We have a lot of experience, so I feel like if we're clicking, I think we can score a lot of points this year. Major strength, like I just said, experience. Even our offensive line, everyone knows what they're doing. They've been playing here for 4 years. I'll say running back also. It's been 4 years, and even Vance been playing 2 years in the system, so that's the experience. Everyone knows pretty much who you are in the GLIAC and everyone you face, so they try to stop you more than anything, loading the box and everything. I feel like that's the most difficult aspect. It's not like you're coming out of nowhere, surprising them. They already know that you're coming.
Anthony Taylor rushed for over 1,600 yards last season and scored 14 touchdowns. With the healthy Jordan McCune returning and the upcoming sophomore Vance Settlemeyer, Ashland is looking very deep at the running back position for 2014. When we return, we'll take a look at the defensive side of the ball and talk with defensive coordinator Tim Rose on the 2014 Ashland University Football Preview Show.
Coming into this major, this is my first year, I was really nervous and unsure if this was the right decision for me. And within the first week of classes, I was asked to anchor a news update, to co-produce and host my own TV show on AUTV20, and to do graphics at a football game. 3 things that I never thought that I would be doing. And just coming into this major and seeing that the professors are willing to help you get hands-on and support you and all of the failures and successes that you're going to make in this degree was just something that I would never take back.
In the past 3 seasons, Ashland University has produced some NFL defensive linemen. Jarris Pendleton was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2012 and is currently playing for the Indianapolis Colts. Jamie Meter recently just signed a free agent contract with the Baltimore Ravens. Replacing players of this caliber can be tough, but with the returning Letterman and a couple of local D1 transfers, defensive coordinator Tim Rose has to be feeling pretty good about this year's Eagle defense.
Well, it gets great notoriety for us. But at the same time, it's not going to be a every year occurrence. Those guys were unique. They were big, strong, fast, out of the ordinary human beings, really. But it's great for them. It's great for the university. Great for our players to see. Great for coaches to see. So we're excited about Jarris and Jamie. Well, we expect to be real feisty. Expect to be tough, and we aren't real big. But we're pretty fast. We're not deep at some positions, but we got a good blend of great players and a good blend of veteran players and a blend of young players and experienced guys. I think it's a real good mix of different kinds of talent and that sort of thing. So we expect to be a great defense. Well, the inside linebackers probably, we've got really a pretty good mix right there. We got Cody Bloom coming back. He's our captain, 5th-year senior, and playing great football right now. Zach Olszewski will start at the other side. He's a third-year sophomore out of Columbus. He's playing very good football. Brandon Jensi will play a lot with Zach Olszewski into the boundary. He's number 3. Zach Bernhardt, a local kid, played quarterback for the Arrows, is our backup linebacker right there, and behind Cody. He's had a good summer. And then Austin Utter, a freshman kid out of Milan Edison, will be our 5th linebacker right now. So we've got 5 guys in a depth design where we can play. We're 3 deep with those 5 guys. So I feel real good about those guys playing for us. Well, we got Chase Huber out of Indiana and Max Pierman out of the University of Nebraska. They're both playing a very similar position, playing our end and our stud. And it's taking them some time to get on track and get back. I asked them this summer, are the boys from the Big Ten man enough to play in the GLIAC? And I think they are. But it took some time to get acclimated. I don't think anybody really appreciates the level of football we play in this league. But they have a chance to be really good football players for us, both of them. We're playing 5 teams we haven't played before. It's an offensive league, as I said. I don't know, but I expect us to be competitive. I expect us to be the best defense on the field for 10 straight weeks. There's an old axiom that all you got to do is be better than the defense across the field. If we're better than the defense we play Lake Erie on September 6th, we'll win the game. If we're a better defense against the Walsh, we'll win the game. So we need to be a better defense than the guys across the field. I think we'll be the best defense on the field 10 straight weeks. I hope that means 10 straight wins. Chris Harvey is a guy that you take a lot of pride in a guy like Chris. I wasn't here in 2008, but he was here in 2008 and had a kind of an up and down year for us. Left school, was out of school for a couple of years, came back, changed positions, and after 5 or 6 years right now, he's on track to graduate. He's got a great future in business. He seems to have done well academically. He's a dynamic football player. He could be one of the most dynamic players on the field in the GLIAC this year as a strong safety for us. So he's one of those guys when you coach and teach, you're just proud to be a part of in some small way, and you're proud to see a guy turn it around from being maybe the average football player and then a lousy student in 2008 to a really good student right now and a heck of a football player. So he's a success story. He's got still finished that last chapter between now and November, but he's a real success story.
I think the strengths are, we had a lot of guys come in here in the summer, got a lot of 7-on-7 early workout. I would say our transfers, they kind of bring that passion that they have with their other team. We kind of cohesive together. So our strengths would be just we fly around to the ball. As Coach Rose mentioned, we're not very big up front with the loss of Jamie Meter, but at the same time, like I said, we're very physical, we're very fast, and we'll hit you in the mouth. Actually, my goal was to get 100 tackles, but due to depth, last year I didn't play much special teams, which now I am. But I'm just a ball hawk, I like to be the first person to get the ball. I kind of laugh with the fellas on opening kickoff and tell them like I'm gonna get this first tackle, so they know. So it's kind of like a race, to get down there and see who's gonna get that first tackle and start that momentum for our team. I would say the most difficult part, me being 220 pounds, I go against a lot of 300-pounders, so kind of just getting the hands off a lot. Pretty much athletic, the skill positions are pretty much equal, but when you go against linemen and you're undersized as a linebacker, you want to have a wide variety of pass moves, so I kind of work on getting hands off and figuring out the best way to get to the quarterback as possible. Some of my goals for this upcoming season would be first and foremost to get a win. I could have 1 tackle or 2 tackles, but as long as we win the game. But besides that, I want to be an All-American this year, so I got my goal set on being an All-American. Well, since I came out of high school, had a real good relationship with Coach Owens. As I mentioned before, my older brother, he graduated from Mich University. Coach Owens is a real hands-on guy. He looks after his players, Like I said, we have summer meals. He makes sure we're well nutrition. He's just been a real great coach to play for. Some places we have filled with freshmen, but freshmen have stepped up to the spot. Depth-wise, I feel like a couple players are interchangeable. Like I said, I can play safety, I can play linebacker. You got James Esther who can play boundary or field corner. So, we kind of just mix it up. We learn 2 positions just in case of an injury. So the depth isn't, super deep, but at the same time, every player is interchangeable at each position.
There's no doubt that Coach Rose will have his defense ready for the home opener against Lake Erie on September 6th. When we return, we'll look ahead to the Eagles' 2014 schedule and find out where the Eagles are predicted to finish when the 2014 Ashland University Football Preview Show returns.
I really enjoyed working camera for the football games. It was just a good group of people. It was like more or less the same group every week, so every week we got to know each other. And especially being a freshman, getting to know people out of class right away like that really solidified me, let me know that I made the right choice coming here. And just being able to look back and say, wow, I did that at Ashland.
Division I transfers, a healthy offensive backfield, depth at the specialty positions. It seems the only question on this team is at the quarterback position. We asked Coach Owens about this delicate subject.
Travis Turnowski, he'll start a quarterback for us. He earned the job in the spring and actually played every bit as well as any of the quarterbacks we had here in the spring. You know, Austin's back from his injury now, Austin Bruns, and he'll play some quarterback now. He'll play in the first game. We're going to make sure he has a role. So we're going to play both guys. But at this point, Travis would be ahead in terms of actually being the starter for the first game.
We'll have to wait and see how the quarterback position plays out. It's going to be a tough decision for Coach Owens to make. Another tough decision for coaches across the conference to make is who to pick for their preseason favorite to win the GLIAC North and South divisions. Here's what the coaches decided. In the GLIAC South, defending division champion Ohio Dominican was selected as this year's favorite. Findlay received 1 first-place vote and are predicted to finish second. Ashland sits in third, the same position they finished the season ago. In fourth is Lake Erie, who will be AU's first game of the season. Walsh, Tiffin, and Malone round out the bottom of the polls. In the North Division, nationally ranked Grand Valley State is the overwhelming favorite to take the division title. They're followed by Ferris State and last year's division champion, Saginaw Valley State. Michigan Tech, Hillsdale, Wayne State, Northern Michigan, and Northwood are predicted to follow. Well, the polls are over, the team is ready, and the season is almost here. Let's take a look at the 2014 schedule to see where and when you can see and hear the Eagles play. Ashland starts the season with back-to-back home games against the Lake Erie Storm on September 6th at 7 o'clock and Walsh University on September 13th, also at 7 o'clock. On September 20th, Ashland will travel south to play the Panthers of Ohio Dominican at noon. The Eagles then head to Findlay to take on the Oilers for a 2:30 kickoff. On October 4th, the Eagles come home for another night affair and face the Malone University Pioneers at 7 o'clock. The Saginaw Valley Cardinals fly into Fred Martinelli Field to take on the Eagles on October 11th for a 1 o'clock matchup. Ashland will then charge into Hillsdale and take on the Chargers in a 1 o'clock contest on October 18th. The Eagles finish up their home schedule on October 25th at 1 o'clock when they take on the Northern Michigan Wildcats. And on November 1st, Ashland will travel to Grand Valley State for a 7 o'clock matchup. Finally, the Eagles end their season on the road against Michigan Tech on November 8th with a 1 o'clock kickoff. Want to see the Eagles in action but can't make it to the game? This season, Ashland University's Journalism and Digital Media Department will stream every home game live from Jack Miller Stadium. Just go to goashlandeagles.com and click on the Watch Live button. You can also hear all the action of every home game on Ashland University's own 88.9 WRDL FM or streamed live online at WRDLFM.com. Well, that about wraps things up for us here at the Dwight Shaw Athletic Complex. We would like to thank Athletic Director Al King and his staff for helping us make this show possible. We would also like to thank the players and coaches for their cooperation in producing the Ashland University Football Preview Show. From Ashland University's Journalism and Digital Media Department, I'm Kevin Stoicovy. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you at the game.